Bada fucking bing, bada boom. Welcome back, market gurus, my investor friends, everybody who decided to trade this crazy ass market that we have been seeing this week. Now, the markets are getting absolutely wrecked today going into Thursday. The Dow is down 550 points. The Nasdaq is officially in correction territory. And Trump's tariff whiplash is throwing everything into complete and total chaos. Now, what does this mean for you exactly? Where's the smart money actually being held at this point? And finally, are we in the early stages of a bigger market meltdown? These are all questions we're going to explore and then adventure into today as a community of love, okay? So today we're breaking into market news, what's driving this big ass sell-off. We're driving into some economic data. What does the latest job claims report mean to all of us? Because let's be honest, none of you really fucking understand what that stuff is talking about anyways. So we're going to break it down for you. And finally, options flow and dark pool data. Where's the real money moving? Because guess what? We want to follow the institutions because the institutions are the ones making the markets. You know what I mean? Gabagool. Anyways, let's get into it. All right? So, first things first. The Dow tanks 550 points today. But I bet you don't know why. Here's why, shorty. The Dow Jones Industrial fell 1.3%. The worst day in weeks. We also had the S&P 500 losing 2%, while the Nasdaq dropped almost 3%, officially entering correction territory. And it's down 10% from its all-time high. Mind you, think about that. Why? The market is reacting to Trump's trade war escalation, which is creating three things. First, uncertainty around the tariffs. Who's getting taxed? And who's getting exemptions? Like, what's going on here? We need some insight, buddy. Fears of inflation and recession. That's point number 2. And then finally, big sell-offs in tech and AI stocks. Now, talking about the tariff situation, Trump's tariff policies have been shifting daily. But this is our latest update so far. 50% of Mexican imports and 62% of Canadian imports will still face 25% tariffs. The automotive industry caught a temporary break. Tariffs on Mexico and Canada's car exports are delayed for 1 month. That's 4 weeks, folks. That's 28 to 31 calendar days. Keep that in mind. China hit back with 15% tariffs on U.S. farm products like chicken and pork. Oh snap. China said, hey, you wanna start a trade war, shorty? We'll start a trade war. We'll slap some tariffs right back at you. And that's exactly what they did. Now, what does this mean exactly? Short-term volatility. The market hates uncertainty. It's like when you're the hot cheerleader and you're like, oh my God, does the quarterback like me or what's going on here? Market feels the same way. Not feeling it. Stocks rallied yesterday when tariffs were paused, but tanked today after Trump doubled down on his position. Make it make sense because the math is not mathing. Higher costs ahead. Expect higher prices on imports, which could push inflation back up. So watch out because shit might start getting expensive again. Bad news for the Fed's rate cut plans as well, by the way, because we need inflation to 2%. I think that shit's at like 2.7. More pain for retailers. Yep, I called this too. I told Printing Tendies in his DMs. I was like, yo, consumer confidence is down. Consumer-driven markets like Target, Best Buy, not doing well. And then on top of that, Target and Best Buy, guess what? They warned about tariff-related price pressures. You want to know what that means? That fucking Stream Deck you want to buy your kid for his birthday? That shit's about to be way more expensive to where you're going to be like, not doing it. So watch out. Now, tech stocks are leading the absolute collapse. They are shitting the bed, folks. The Nasdaq is officially in correction mode, and AI stocks are getting absolutely destroyed right now. Marvel is down 18% after weak AI related guidance. We had Nvidia down 9% this week alone, and that is losing momentum after its record rally back in 2024. It seems like that was years ago at this point with how the stock is performing. And then we had Broadcom, AMD also deep in the red. But are we shocked about AMD? Because like AMD, don't even get me started. We'll do a whole video on that. The AI trade is losing its steam, and investors are locking in profits after last year's monster run. If this selling continues, the AI bubble might be popping sooner than expected. And remember, Nvidia owns the AI bubble. So the more Nvidia goes down, the closer that bubble is going to get to popping. So watch out, folks. Now we had some economic data with jobless claims and recession warnings and how those two things are aligning right now. Thursday's economic data added fuel to the fire of this market sell-off. We had jobless claims at 221K, came in slightly lower than expected. But continuing claims are now at 1.89 million, which is a 3-year high. People are staying unemployed longer now, which means jobs probably aren't paying enough to entice people to get employed versus what they could get on government assistance. I mean, who could blame them? You know? If the government's going to pay, you got to play the game to play. But what does this mean exactly? The job market is cooling, but not collapsing quite yet. If Friday's jobs report is weak, aka tomorrow's jobs report, if that is weak, markets could see even more downside. I'm calling it right now. SPY is going at SPY. That shit is going to 535 before it sees another big bounce back up to the 600 levels. 535 SPY. I called it at going to 575 a week ago, and look how it's doing. We touched 572 at some point. So that's my prediction for SPY. That is not financial advice. That's just what I believe because our economy is crashing and no one's willing to address it. Anyways, I will be right back. I got to pull up some options flow for y'all so we could talk about some of our biggest winners, losers, wieners, L7 weenies, and all that good stuff. Now, if it's one thing that gets me out of the bed and gets me excited about the markets, baby, it's some good options flow. And guess what? Big money is making major moves. And here's what they are betting on, folks. We had some massive put orders, which is our bearish sentiment growing within the market. These are the big guys starting to, lay their positions out a little more aggressively, if you know what I'm saying. We had SPY March 21st, 2025, 545 puts. Hey, what did I just say? SPY going to 535, baby. We got 545 puts coming in like hotcakes. We had 3.11 million in premiums spent with hedging against more downside. This is most likely institutions expecting more downside on their positions, so they're going to hedge against. Play it safe, play it smart, keep money in the markets, baby. We had Nvidia March 14th, $100 puts. We had 11.5 million in premiums on that, which does this mean we're getting bearish on AI stocks? Remember, Nvidia created the bubble. That means they could pop it real easy, folks. And then QQQ for March 6th, 2025, we had 492 puts with 17.1 million in premiums. Is tech finally under attack? Do we have to start stressing out? Are the robots going to take over? I don't know. But we had some big call bets too. Mostly on Tesla, to be honest. Tesla, we saw some June 20th, 2025, $200 calls, and we had 3.78 million in premiums. A rare bullish long-term bet on Tesla. Does somebody know something we don't, maybe? I don't know. I guess we'll never know. Or we'll just have to wait until around that time to see how that plays out. Now, some key takeaways from our option market today. We had massive put flow on SPY and QQQ. Institutions are hedging against a bigger drop, and they're expecting a bigger drop. And you might want to follow the market makers, the people who are making this possible. We also had heavy bearish positioning on AI stocks. The market is skeptical of this AI rally. That means the confidence is not there, folks. It looks like there's some cracks starting to happen in this cement. And Tesla calls. Some traders are still bullish long-term despite its recent downside and recent lack of performance. Now, if we look at our dark pool levels for today, hold on, let me go ahead and order these for us. Now, dark pool levels, we had SPY, we had 140 million at the $572.71 level. It's a bearish signal. Someone is unloading shares. So watch out because it looks like somebody's expecting even more downside. QQQ, we had 173 million at $502.23. Is big tech getting sold off quietly? That's what it looks like right now in the market. We also had NVIDIA with $38 million at $110.57. We had institutions dumping AI stocks. Remember, that's going to add to our QQQ fire here, folks. Now, finally, we had Tesla with $26 million at $200.25. Is someone buying pressure on Tesla? That may be correlated to the calls we saw. Who knows? I don't know, folks, but we're going to have to wait and see, baby. Now, the key takeaways from our dark pool levels today is SPY and QQ are selling. Institutions are quietly getting defensive, not wanting to, make too many waves in the ocean and start a tsunami. NVIDIA and AI stocks are seeing major selling pressure. Is the AI hype run finally over? I don't know. And Tesla is a wild card. Some big buyers are finally starting to step in. Do they know something that we may not know? Now, final thoughts. What's next here? If Friday's jobs report is weak, expect more selling in the market, possibly testing even new lows. I'm telling you right now, SPY 535, baby, not financial advice. Just it is what it is. If tariffs accelerate even further, inflation will spike and the Fed might be forced to delay rate cuts. And who knows, we might even get some rate hikes at that point, which would be, oh my God, that would be ridiculous. But anyways, and if tech continues to bleed, the AI bubble might finally be popping. So is it time to start shorting all these semiconductor companies? I don't know, but it might be a move. Maybe we'll track it on Blotter. Anyways, what's your game plan? Are you hedging? Are you buying the dip? Are you waiting for the bottom to buy the dip at the bottom? What are you doing? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification to stay ahead of all your daily market news. I'm your host, Max Pitts, the hostess with the mostest, your favorite market analyst, your favorite traders analyst. I love you all. I hope you're having a good night. Don't worry, I'm back at it. I'm done with my little episode. So we're going to keep it moving. We're going to keep it pushing, and I'm going to keep bringing the news to you on a daily motherfucking basis. Love y'all. Have a good night. Mwah.